All right, everyone, good evening. Welcome to the Delta Club's February membership meeting. It's a wonderful evening tonight despite the rain and the cold. Glad everybody's inside in a warm room. Again, thank you to Seminary here for the hospitality. We appreciate your letting us use the room. Perry, if I could get you to call roll right quick, just as a quick note to see all the board members in here, I sure would appreciate it.
President Joe Plum. Present. Vice President Tyler Henry. Here. Treasurer Jim Martin. Present. Secretary Perry Hayes. Present. Director of Training Joe Lowenthal. Here. Computer Trustee Dan Fleet. Here. Director of Publications Mike Harris. He's here, I saw him. Director of Meetings and Special Events Scott Adams. Present. Director of Programs Adam White. Here. Past President Ty McMahon. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, very much appreciated. Good evening, everyone. Glad to have everyone here. I want to take just a minute, and for tonight's welcome activity, I want to challenge everybody. Tyler, you'll have to join the other table unless Adam sits with you. Everyone at your table, introduce yourself, figure out who is the oldest ham that's been licensed the longest and the youngest ham that was licensed first. And then we're going to go around the room starting on this side, and the youngest ham starts at the table introducing their name, their call sign, and when they were licensed. So I'll give you a couple minutes to figure out who was the first ham to be licensed at your table, and then we'll start with Tyler's table. All right?
I'm 23 years ago, so I'm probably not in.
Say again?
I'm probably the newest, so I don't know where that falls.
Yeah, I think we've got the oldest. Mine's 2013.
Mine's only like 3 years ago. 2012.
67 years.
All right. So Tyler, if you could start us off. Tyler, who's the youngest ham at your table?
I am the youngest ham at our table.
So who are you in your call?
I'm Tyler Henley, KQ4QEB. It's been a year.
All right. Who's next? Dan or Adam? Who's next?
Adam K4SPB. It's been 8 years, 9 years.
Dan, AA4DF, probably around 91.
10 years going.
That's a little long. That's a while. All right, we'll jump over to Joe Lowenthal's table. So who's the youngest ham at Joe Lowenthal's table?
My name is Clement, KQ4TQV. I got my license back in July last year.
Next, I'm Josh, KQ4IOS. I got licensed in May of 2023.
Joe, WA4OVO, May of 76.
Randall, K54, meanwhile, December.
All right, we'll jump over to Ham's table here, and I'll start passing the mic around so we can hear everybody. We'll pass the mic off the table.
Tommy, KQ4, SQC, just last year.
All right, just pass it around.
Randy, KQ4HJH, February 23.
Killer 4 of UPS. I've been here about 15 years.
Ham, W4 TML, February of 1970.
All right, pass up to Dana. All right, who's the youngest ham at your table?
Keith, KJ4, DTQ, April 2014.
Bill, WA4MJL, 1963.
All right.
63.
I'm AC5MR, and I was licensed, I can't remember what month, I think it was spring or summer in 1995.
Joe Barnes, N4 VOK, 82.
David Stein, 1973, I think in February.
W3IP, if you didn't catch his call.
That guy, very good.
We got 3 billion. You'll pass back to John Reimers. Who's got your youngest at your table, John?
We're going by youngest age or?
Just to start off by the youngest ham license age.
I'm Paul, KY4MX. I got licensed in, I think, August of 2019.
Perry Hayes, November 4, Golf Juliet. I was first licensed in July of 2016.
Scott, AM4 PMU, licensed in late 2015.
I'm Jim, KD4 FUU. I received my license, I don't know what month it was, but it was back in 1991, as soon as they got rid of the code requirement.
Fantastic.
John, KM4 BBH, and I was licensed in March of 2017.
Mark, I was originally licensed in the summer of '83 and let lapse, and I relicensed in January of '21.
Ned, Kilo Alpha 4 Bravo Lima Lima. I was passed the test in December of 1977 and didn't get my call till February of 1978.
Barry, WB4SWP. I was licensed in 2012.
Might pass it on over to the rig table.
Erect. March of 76.
Richard, K4 DXL. I'll have to ask Joe, I think it was in 08.
Rick Dinsmore, KON, licensed in 1981.
Billy, WL4B, licensed sometime in 1991.
Will, H34 FUM, licensed January 2023.
Vernon, about 4 months ago.
Jim, I was licensed May of 2018, and I do not know CW.
I'm KW4RI, licensed through 2012.
Bill Baker, I was KZ4JK's licensed in 1995.
Ron, KM4 SYQ in March of 2016.
John, KJ4NWU, I was licensed in 09.
Visitors are perfectly fine. Move over this way. Thank you.
KO4WAQ, licensed January of 22. You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Just go around the table.
Okay. Rick Mouse, KX4B. I've been a ham operator 67 years. I got my first ticket when I was 15. That was N4ABL up in New Jersey. Now I'm KX4B.
I'm Norm, KO4QLD, licensed in May of 23.
And I'm John, KK4LST, and I was licensed in September 2012.
Steve, KK4BPT, December of 2013.
Thanks, sir. And did we leave anybody out? And I'll end this off. I'm Joe, and I'm NS4E, and I was licensed, first licensed in November of 2018. So it's been a wild time, and I have had a ton of fun. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourselves. Appreciate that. Gets to know everybody, and we realize what I'd like to ask you to remember is the experience that we just heard in this room. We heard licensees that go all the way back to the 60s. So that is an amazing depth and breadth of experience, and I just am so thankful to have that as a part of our club. With that, I'd ask real quick if Jim would raise your hand and wave. If you've got your membership renewal and haven't renewed, Jim is in the back, and he will be glad to take your $20 renewal fee if you haven't turned that in. All right, one other quick thing. Do we have any members here that tested tonight? All right, there's one, there's two. Anybody else? All right, just as a recognition real quick, I just want to give you an extra door prize ticket just for having the courage to test. So, congratulations to you. Okay. Put your call on the back and drop it in the barrel, and in November it may be the winner ticket. Thank you for having the courage to test. We've got a couple of announcements tonight, so I want to take a second and if I could ask Billy if you could come up and talk to us a little bit about the West Tennessee Regional Disaster Relief Training that's at Germantown Baptist Church.
Sure, thanks. So, Joe asked me to talk about this. This is something Richard brought in. This group, I do not belong to this group, but they respond to disasters, and those who know me know that I've been, and they fed me multiple times. Great organization. Part of the Southern Men's Christian group, and this particular group does logistics support, felling or tree cutting. The wildland world is called felling, tree and debris removal. And so they will train you up on how to do those things, and they go out the door quite a bit. I always look for the yellow shirt folks. The first time I ever saw them, they fed us at the Pentagon. The first night we were there. So great organization, part of the Baptist group, and there is a fee to do this. It's a $40 fee. I think it's still $40. But part of that is a background investigation, because they have to be vetted, making sure people sending the right people down to disasters. They just spent, this group right here just spent quite a while in East Tennessee after the hurricane. Who ever thought East Tennessee would have a hurricane? But you don't have to go out, and do, but you can be part of it if you want to. It's a good training. It's a real training. It's a very efficient, well-run organization. I've dealt with them. Every state's got some, and I've dealt with pretty much all the states. And I'm very pleased with the way they took care of us.
Billy, thank you for that. And just if you're interested, there is a flyer up on the sign-in table. The dates are March 7th and 8th, and it's at Germantown Baptist Church. Flyers up on the sign-in table.
Very part of that group. Very much.
Fantastic. So if you have specific questions, ask Barry. She'd be glad to help you out with that. All right, we had one other announcement. Rick, you wanted to come up and talk to us a little bit about some Morse code.
I do. The year was 1825, and Samuel Norris was on business away from his home. His wife got sick, deathly sick, and it took 2 weeks for the message to get to Samuel. And then he left his business opportunity, and it took him another 2 weeks to get back home again. She had passed away. And he was so upset over the fact that he couldn't get the communication in time He sat right down and invented the Morse code in 1825. First A-E-I-O-U. They were the easy ones. And then came the rest. Thought I'd just explain it to you. Thank you.
Rick, thank you for that. Appreciate that. It's amazing to think that Morse code was a mechanism that allowed us to communicate very quickly in the olden days. The today's aren't the olden days either. All right, do we have any other announcements? Yes, I was getting to Free Fest. Rick, you want to come up and talk to us about Free Fest? Or you want me to cover that? Come on up. Rick's going to talk to us about Free Fest in April.
April 12th, Saturday, that is. It's the local ham fest, which most of you know about it, or probably a lot of you have been to it, but anybody new. We sell tickets every year. Every dollar for the ticket sales goes straight to the hospital of honor. And there's no charge to get in. This year there will be a charge of $5 per table, since the rates have gone up on us from the good town of Bartlett on our building last year, about 40%. The only way we pay for the rent on the building, the club, MAR, and sponsors this, is selling food. So come hungry and eat often. So that's it. We offset some of the building rent. And we have tickets back there. I know Joe Lowenthal is selling tickets, and two of us, they're $5 a sheet of 6, or if you get $20 worth, you get an extra sheet, so you get 30 tickets for $20. And like I say, everything's straight to the hospital for the kids.
Got any idea on the prices yet?
Some of the prices are already posted on MAR's website. There's quite a few HTs, there's an iPad, I don't know what all.
Battery. We toss in a battery.
Well, I haven't heard the plan on that though, but
We'll toss in a battery.
Yeah, Yellow Globe's about a battery, 10 years now. Which is, depends on what they pick. They've had radios over the years, the past years. If you look at a lot of the local groups donate something. So I know Kara, which is Chickasaw down south, Fernando, they contacted me the other day. They got a kit and a book. So it's a little, kit. I don't know which one though. I really don't. So that's pretty much the deal. If you need, we take checks, cash, a few proper IDs, and possibly a J.C. Penney's card. If you write a check, write it to MARA. Their treasurer will handle that part of it.
Thank you, Rick. I'll take a minute and just, the Free Fest is a great opportunity to have a local ham fest in the Memphis market. There's those ham fests are a dying entity. Please put that on your calendar. Come out and support Free Fest. Support the club MARA and their efforts to conduct that and raise money for the Bonner. Fantastic opportunity. And if you've got a lot of experience and some extra stuff, you can always rent a table from them and try to sell some of it. Because I know there are a lot of new hams that need some new old gear. All right. I almost said something else. All right. With that, let's move into some new business here. And I know that we published the minutes for the last membership meeting and the board meeting in Sparks. We need to read and approve those minutes.
I make a motion.
Pam has made a motion to approve the minutes as published in Sparks. And who seconded that? Because I didn't get a chance to look up. Randy seconded that. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. That does keep us from having to read them all. So thank you. We do appreciate that. All right, with that, we'll move right quick into board member reports, and we'll cycle through these real quick. I just want to thank everybody. I'll start off real super quick. Thank everybody for coming out It is great to see so many faces and a lot of new faces out there, and it's just a lot of fun to see that. With that, I'll hand the mic off to Tyler, and Tyler will hear anything that you might want to report on in the membership area.
No, again, thank y'all for being here. It's an honor to get to serve y'all in this capacity. Glad to hear a lot of chatting on a bunch of the different frequencies and repeaters we got out there, and looking forward to what we can do the rest of this year as we DMR has gone live and working on fixing some of the other repeaters in the area.
Barry, do you have anything? I have nothing else to add, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jim, we'll come back to you because I know you want to talk to us about your budget, but go ahead.
I would like to entertain a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as published in
That's all part of my motion.
So
I would like to propose that Ham propose a motion.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as published in Spark. I second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Fantastic. Jim, we'll bring you back up in just a minute because I know we've got a special presentation on the club's budget. That'll be a special point. Adam, would you like to take the mic for just a second on programs?
So last month we had 4 responses to the program survey. We had a 100% increase, so we're up to 8 responses. So I'll keep checking it every now and then to see if things sway. Particularly interested in people who want to answer yes to question 2, which is, do you want to present? And it can be any topic you want, camp related. So please fill those out or deal with me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I'll take a second here and put a shameless plug in for the signal report. There's a QR code in each table. This is a way for you to feedback to us and let us know what you like and what you don't like. If you like a program, let us know. It's real easy. Just zap it with your phone and answer like 5 questions. Easy peasy. All right, we'll circle over now to Scott. Do you have anything you'd like to add? All right, no report. Mike, would you like to jump in? There you are.
I need a replacement.
Mike is indeed looking for someone to take his place. He'll be glad to apprentice you and train you. Just let him know. Certainly encourage you. What's the role? Director of Publications. Mike puts together and maintains Sparks for us, sends that out, and also works on and maintains the website. Pretty easy. It is pretty intense for a couple of days every week, every month, but other than that, now I'll hand the mic off to Joe for his training report.
All right, we finished up extra class on Saturday. Did you pass or no? Okay. We have 2 so far that have passed out of the 5 that finished the class. So that's good. Need a little more time for the other 3. We do have a technician license class that will start on May the 24th on 6 Monday nights via Zoom, except for the FCC testing opportunity on the 5th night of class, which is March 31st, which is at Memphis Police Department Admin Farm Station Training Room. Have 13 students signed up so far. Don Mosier said he wanted to sign up for it, so that'll be 14 in the class. And it's still some time, and usually there's people signing up late. I try to cut it off at 15. That's more manageable class, particularly when you get to the testing portion. February the 24th to April the 7th are the dates, except for March the 10th. That's open. Yeah. Also, I have a birthday card for Pat Lane, who's in nursing home right now. If break, come and sign it if you want. Had a number of people sign it already, but He enjoys getting cards. If you're interested in sending him a card personally, send it to his home address. He's good in QRZ. That's W4OQZ. And his wife will take it to him. He's at Millington Healthcare Center in Millington, between trying to think, main road, east-west.
It's on Easley Street, is that right? Easley Street?
Well, it's between Easley and Navy Road. Almost where Easley and Navy Road come together. You can go there's a street or road driveway that goes in right adjacent to the bank that's at Easley and Navy Road.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Everybody, if you give a minute, make sure to sign Pat's card. He sure would appreciate it. All right, we'll hand the mic over to Dan, our trustee.
Well, as most of you have found out, we now have DMR up and running. It worked about what we predicted. Yeah, sorry, in Germantown, handheld coverage is going to be iffy, but we kind of knew that. Shining in my face there. So it's working pretty good. I haven't really had any issues with it. There's a couple of temporary things we did until we got a couple of things in, so you may hear it drop off the line for a little bit, but that's not because it went wonky. So plan on looking at having some sessions to where people can bring their HT to McDonald's and Bartlett and sit down, bring your laptop and learn how to program. Looking at offering some Zoom sessions, maybe we can do desktop sharing, and do Ham 101 next month at 6 p.m. So we've got a lot of expertise in the group too. Adam's the Motorola whiz. I think John Ryder's got a Motorola. And I'm sure there's a couple other people out there. So I think anything you got, we can get going. If you won, I think some of you won HTs at the Christmas party. And I think most of those are DMR capable, so some of you may already have it. If you want a hotspot, we can talk about hotspots. So I have two. I love them. I'm a tinker, so I'm sure Adam has them. Also, we're working on All-Star. Got enough parts. We get a little bit of clear weather. We're going to put the All-Star 8.2 on All-Star. So you may hear the bloop that we've heard for the last 25, 30 years. Sound may change. And we'll do that for weather linking. And also it'll let us do a little bit better job of announcements and timing. Like today, net tonight at 8 p.m. Well, there's no net tonight. Well, now we have the flexibility of cutting that out or making announcements for other things. And then we'll go on to do the Germantown repeater upgrade because we need to swap out the audio card on that. We'll probably swap out a repeater to get the sound better. So we've got things we're working on. I appreciate everybody that's helped me out. Everything big and small. Joe and my son going out there and racking everything. Pam, when I call him, I need a connector. He brings me connectors. Those little things you gotta have to make things work. So I appreciate everybody just talking on the repeaters and using them. We've got the new weather service talk group on there. If any of you just kind of I'm not a part of the liaison team, but I talk to like Alan and them quite a bit. And the WeatherNet was kind of, the audio was horrible, and we know that. So Alan stayed up till 2 in the morning, rebuilt the virtual machine at the data center that had all the software, and we did a lot of testing on the next day, and that fixed it. So I don't want the last check didn't bother you. So first of the month plug for that. Get on the radio, we're having fun.
It's all about. Thank you, Dan, for that update. Lots of things happening in the All right, one last thing. We got. I'll call up on Jim, but I did have someone reached out to me and asked if there would be any interest in the club to run a DMR net on a brand new DMR repeater. So I'm going to put that person on the spot for just a second because I asked him if I could. So John Runners, if you come up and talk a little bit about a DMR net, sure would appreciate that.
All right, I literally just reached out to Joe this afternoon asking if somebody wanted to do a DMR net or anything like that. I know it's still new. We don't have a day or time. We would like to be a weekly net. Probably call it the Triple D net, the Delta Dynamite net. Who knows? So I'm open to suggestions about topics or things that you'd like to talk about on there. And kind of leaning towards Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. between the Delta Net and the Aries Net. We don't want to have it too late in the evening. Tuesdays are obviously bad because we have so many meetings in the area. And so yeah, I'm cam4bbh@comcast.net if you want to email me your suggestions. And I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to be able to. I literally just mentioned the idea today, and I've kind of volunteered myself for it. So. Anyway, that's how it works, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun, and hopefully we can get a lot of participation on this.
Thank you, John, for stepping up on that. And just seriously, if you're interested in DMRNet, interested in the technology, what it all can do, reach out to any of the board members, reach out to John. That's really the beautiful thing about, or reach out to Dan, That's the beauty about our club. We've got such a very depth and breadth of experience, so I appreciate all of that. All right, Jim, if we could have you jump up here real quick and present to us the budget. I'm going to take just while you're walking up on one last other thing. Mary Jean Hall, KOI4FB, who is the chairperson of our bylaws committee, has asked me, she apologizes that she couldn't make it tonight, but she's asked me for anybody that is interested in working with her on the bylaws revisions for the club to reach out to her, and she's good on QRZ, to reach out to her and let her know. She wants to try to get that committee working next month. It shouldn't take too terribly long, but please reach out to her so we can get we got some bylaw revisions that we need to get done, and she needs some help getting those taken care of. All right, Jim, if you've got our budget, we sure would love to hear from you. All right, Jim's going to walk us through our 2025 club budget real quick.
All right. Hopefully I don't put you guys to sleep here. I'm just going to run through line by line here real quick. And if there's any questions as I go, please feel free to speak up. All right, so this is our 2025 budget, proposed budget. I've included what we had for 2023 and 2024, both proposed and our actual figures. This is the same document that was published in Sparks this month. So, starting out here with our donations, we can never really count on a specific amount for donations. So, year by year, we usually put in $50. You can see in the past couple of years, we've actually received some very generous donations from club members. I'd like to thank everybody that donated last month towards our internet hotspot. I was kind of overwhelmed with the generosity of everybody here. We collected a total of $456 just passing the hat around. And so that will go towards the equipment and 1 year of internet service. So we'll get to that here and we get down to the expenses. So we're budgeting $2,000 for club membership dues. same as we've had in previous years. Some years we've collected more, some years we haven't. But the club seems to be going in the right direction, so that should work out well. Club commissions, typically we don't put a number in there, but we know that we have one club commission coming in from an ARRL renewal, and so that's included. Last month we sold $80 in patches, 16 patches, $5 a piece. So I went ahead and included that as well, even though we don't normally have a figure there. Estate sales. I think our good equipment is kind of dwindling, so we reduced that amount from $1,500 down to $750. We'll see how that goes. We never have anything in advertising. We'll just skip over that. Huntsville trip. We budget that we'll take in about $2,500 in bus fares, and you can see that in previous months or previous years, that has been a lower number in actual fares, but that's been offset by some generous donations by some members. I'm not sure who's donated it. They've been anonymous. So that's where you see some of these, like this $1,400 from last year. So that offset some of the amount that the club has had to pitch in. So we have a total of, or estimated income of $5,841 for the year of 2025. So that is a little bit lower than previous years. That's again due to the reduction in the amount that we expect to have from the state sales. Now for our expenses, looking at about, well, I'm looking at this being my last year as a treasurer, so there is an extra fee to change the treasurer with the state. So for our annual report, it's probably going to be a little bit more than the usual $20.95. So we budgeted $50 there. We've increased our meeting space donation from $300 to $400. Training remains at $50, and that's to print documents and anything that's needed for training and testing. We're looking at a Zoom annual subscription, which we've had this in the past years, but it was not broken out in the budget, so that's why it's not reflected in 2023 or 2024. But that's $174.69 for an annual subscription. The website hosting fee, same thing, $171.08. That's to GoDaddy. And then our domain name registration. That's actually a 5-year renewal, and it's $257 and change. So I broke that out per year, so that's $51.49. We've typically had $800 budgeted for meeting refreshments. We've left it at that. Then $100 for the December meeting, so that's to cover the cost of panels. Door prizes, we're at $500. That's been the same for the past couple years. And our P.O. Box annual rental, we're budgeting $352. That seems to be going up $10 each year, so this past year is $342. And our equipment insurance, we bumped that up a little bit. In the past, it's been $235.48 is the actual cost. But with the new DMR repeater, we want to have that insured as well, so that that'll take it closer to $300. Our club liability insurance at $200. That's the same every year. We're looking at we budgeted $1,000 for repeater system maintenance. That's the same as we've had in past years. As you can see, the actual amount was higher because we had to come to the membership and request a change or an approval to spend extra money So in 2023, we had a tower climb and some equipment that was that we had to purchase, and then as you can see, the $5,289. That includes the cost of the DMR repeater that was purchased at the end of the last year. Oh yeah, the amplifier as well. Here we've included now the repeater site internet access as a hotspot. So there's one-time fee of $299.83. So that's for the cost of the hotspot, and then we have a recurring fee of $120 per year for the service. So line 30, that will drop off next year since it's already been purchased, and 31 will continue on. So we've budgeted for that. Southeastern Repeater Association, that's $35 a year for that membership. Field day, we spent usually budget $250. You can see we come close to that in actual amount. Our discretionary fund remains at $1,000. Huntsville trip, that's the cost of the bus, and that's $3,300 full bus plus other expenses. And then we did bump up the Free Fest donation from $200 to $250 so that we could provide a little bit nicer donation there. So that brings us to a total of $9,404.09 for our projected expenses. And then at the very bottom, I did list what we have in our checking account and our 2 CDs. So we have $32,141.28 in the actual funds right now. Any questions? Barry? No? Okay.
Sure. You wanted to volunteer. Kim?
Yes, sir.
One of the things is with Huntsville bus trip, we have been somewhat breaking even. So the $3,300 for the bus trip, if you take it off of the $9,000, that's $6,100 versus the income of 58 something. So we're within a few $100s of actually balancing the budget in reality.
Right. Thank you, Joe.
Does any of the membership have any other questions? All right. I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion we accept the budget as proposed.
Motion made by him to accept the budget as proposed and seconded by Katie for yes. Any opposed? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Fantastic. Thank you, Jim, for that. Real quick, as Jim mentioned, if anybody out there is looking and has an Excel treasurer finance bent and wants to assist the club, we could absolutely use a treasurer. Jim is staying with us through the end of the year, or if someone steps up, maybe he would like to leave a little sooner. But he's willing to train and bring you on board with what his roles and responsibilities are, and we would love to have somebody step into that role. Shameless plug. Publications is first. Well, we need both publications and treasurer. All right, thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. All right, now this has run long. We had a couple of business items we had to take care of tonight, and I hate it when it runs a little long like that. We had some great announcements. So let's do this. Let's take a quick 5-minute break and come back, and we'll jump into the DMR Code Plug with Adam White.